Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce. I'm recording this video on June 5th of 2025, which makes it 6.5 day where we celebrate everything that is 6.5 millimeter. And my penmanship is atrocious. If today is 6.5 day, why am I also holding an M1 Garand? Weird. Before we get to the M1 Garand news, let's go over just a few of my 6.5 millimeter options here. We have 6.5 Carcano, another 6.5 Carcano. The cartridge is fantastic, especially for the time period it came from. These two rifles are god-awful pieces of garbage. On the bottom here is my AR-15 chambered in 6.5 Grendel. Not to be confused with Grundle, which is a completely different element that you see in the Great Britain area. The only issue with the 6.5 Grendel is that it uses a different type of magazine. That is the standard 5.56 magazine. So keep that in mind if you want to have a super fast 6.5 AR option. Fantastic for coyotes, by the way. Coyotes and pigs at a distance. You throw a thermal on there and you're good to go for all night adventures. Now on a tripod right here is my 6.5 Creedmoor. I have done a ton of videos on this thing. It is way more accurate than I am, which is, well, it's not saying that much, but it's saying something. Not only is this compass rifle a better shot than me, it is a better shot than most people, better than me. Number one, because it has a great barrel, and number two, it is chambered in that 6.5 millimeter Creedmoor round, which is just inherently a more accurate cartridge than normal. Going back to the original part of the video, why was I holding an M1 Garand? And the reason why I was and still am holding an M1 Garand is because the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program people, are going to start making brand new M1 Garands. Up until now, the main source of M1 Garands was the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Over the years, the CMP has taken all the surplus M1 Garands that was used for World War II and Korean War and a little bit at the very beginning of Vietnam. And they refurbished them and then sold them out to civilians as Civilian Marksmanship Program rifles. Due to the fact that these were surplus rifles, the CMP refurbished them into their original condition before they sold them to the civilian population, which means that 99% of them were chambered in 30-06. With a few of them, the Navy versions, were chambered in 308 for the Navy, and those are refurbished to that standard. But that is all changing this summer. A few months ago, the CMP announced that they were going to be making brand new from scratch M1 Garands. At this point in the video, if you know anything about how intricate the forging is on this receiver, you're asking your screen right now, Deuce, how in the heck are the CMP people going to make new receivers for a new M1 Garand? Well, I'll tell you, they got together with a company called Heritage Arms. And no, not that Heritage Arms, another Heritage Arms. I do promise you that Heritage Arms that's going to be making the new receivers is a very different company than Heritage Manufacturing that makes these very inexpensive but fun .22 revolvers. The Heritage Arms that the CMP got together with, they are known for making custom high-end rifles and forgings for rifles and rifle companies. So they're perfect to start making brand new forged receivers for the M1 Garand. Now remember, a few decades ago, some company made cast forgings for their M1 Garands, and they worked okay. Many of those cast receivers did have issues because you cannot take a part that was designed to be a forged steel part and make it a cast steel part without some sort of redesign of the original plans. And they didn't do that because if you do that, you can't fit an original stock on it. You can't put an original operation rod on it. All these things can't be introduced together from old to new if it's a cast receiver that's been redesigned. You have to use all new parts. It would have been fine if they did that, but they didn't. They wanted the cast receiver to work with all the surplus parts, and those two ideas just don't jam together. The reason why I bring up the new M1 Garands on 6.5 day is because, first of all, the CMP is going to make these standard 30-06 M1 Garands and then some standardized 308 M1 Garands. Then they said that they're going to be making some interesting variations for the future. What may those variations be? One of the engineers mentioned that they were experimenting with 6.5 Creedmoor M1 Garands, which I think would be amazing. The M1 Garand holds 8 rounds of 30-06, and they go in this clip here, and the whole clip is put down inside the receiver. I'm sure you've seen Band of Brothers by now. The 30-06 round is quite a bit different size than a 6.5 Creedmoor. So to test this out, I have an empty M1 Garand clip and a bunch of 6.5 Creedmoor cartridges. So let's go ahead and try to feed these in and see what that looks like, or even if a clip can hold 8 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor. Okay, there's 4. So we're going to put in 5, 6. Oh, it looks like a porcupine. Hold on. Okay, 6 looks kind of cool. 6 looks kind of cool. It's a little bit wonky, but looks kind of cool. But 7, this thing is loading just like an M1 Garand clip in 30-06. That's perfect. Look at that. Compare these two, we have 8 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor in an M1 Garand clip and the original 30-06. In comparison, yes, the 30-06 round is a much larger bullet in a much larger case, but the 6.5 Creedmoor round is far more accurate inherently than the 30-06 round. That's just really cool. I'm assuming that the 6.5 Creedmoor version will lock down inside a normal receiver. Let's find out. Of course, let me put on the safety because I don't want any kind of stupid things happening here. I'm not even going to let the chamber go forward or anything, the bolt go forward. I'm not trying to chamber a 6.5 Creedmoor. I just want to see if it locks down. Oh yeah, it totally locks down. Let me loosen my tripod there. It totally locks down in 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm holding back the bolt here, so let's go ahead and eject the rounds. So it does lock down just like normal 30-06, and that is pretty cool. What do you guys think? They're going to make brand new M1 Garands. I think that's amazing. The 6.5 Creedmoor option is not guaranteed, unfortunately, but they're going to make a bunch of 30-06 versions. Then they're going to make a bunch of 308 versions because most people don't have the 308 version, but myself and most people have the 30-06 version. I would like to have a 308 version out there. They're going to also probably offer the sniper variants and the short barrel tanker versions. I don't think they ever used a parachute version. Those are mostly M1 carbines. But once they've done all those different variants that are highly sought after by collectors, what are they going to do after that? They're going to start offering it in different calibers, and 6.5 Creedmoor is right up there on the tippy top of people who are interested in different caliber options for their M1 Garand. I like the simple idea of that, offering different modern calibers in this behemoth of a World War II icon. Now, if you're looking for good deals on 30-06 ammo for your M1 Garand or 6.5 Creedmoor ammo for your hunting applications, then go ahead and check out Black Basin, link down below for all your shooting needs. They really help out the channel when they can, and they do often. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or show ideas, leave that comment down below. I try to answer as many of those as possible. If you like this channel, like what you saw, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe. Got a lot more of this on the way. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.